Okay, this yellow toner is going to run out soon. Even though it shows the full bar, I just turned the machine on. We have a stash of yellow toner ready at the get-go. So let's see how far we can go without changing the toner cartridge. Fortunately, it happened on a Monday that we started getting the low toner indicator. For a change, it wasn't a Friday or a Saturday. Very happy about that. Anyway, let's see what we can do with this piece. Make it nice and colourful. You can hear the mechanical noise. Hear it? Another one, the high-pitched as well as the low-pitched. It's terrible sound, folks. It's Konica Minolta for you. Their love of money really shines through. Really shows in their fucking workmanship, folks. You can hear that noise. Yeah, it's gone now because the machine stopped. So let's see how we go with this piece. Alright, what do we got? We got here a beer, I think it's a beer, brewed in Thailand. I don't drink. I found this on the ground and I thought I'd souvenir it, use it in a demo. So I'm not interested in consuming alcohol. It's something that me and my future husband wouldn't have time in the future to do anyway, because we'll be building artificially intelligent photocopiers, and I'll be running the company that makes it, and basically I'll be a scientist as well. I know I'm disabled at the moment, and I had brain damage at birth, which destroyed my hippocampus and my short-term memory. So currently I can't do anything like that, but I can do this kind of work at the moment. So I'm just looking forward to a bright future and preparing for it. One day it will happen. Thing is, you got to believe in yourselves, folks. That if you want to make a good mark on this world, and hey, we need people to do that, because too many people are doing wrong by this world. Too many people are running their lives on the love of money, and that's a real stink. And you can see the photocopier industry is full of it. And the man who runs the company, Konica Minolta, Shohei Yamana, you can tell this is a piece of shit that he has allowed to be commissioned, as a product. And it's just a disgrace. And people just want to do the wrong thing because they think they're going to make more money, and they often do. They become highly in many ways, because people associate being rich with being successful. They sort of miss the point that if the richness comes at the expense of the environment or the human race, like slave labour, for example, well, basically how can that be called fuck me dead. How can that be called a success? And that's the user interface is an example of shit. They try to make something that's gimmicky, like trying to mimic a mobile phone screen with this kind of shit. And I prefer the old systems better with the tabs. And I'm just so over the way Konica Minolta are just, they have slogans like giving shape to ideas, and change the way you do business. It's all in your hands. I mean, these things are really, really nice sounding slogans, but they're empty when it's just done in the mean-spirited love of money. It's just there to captivate people's imaginations within the bounds of, now I'm going to cancel that, it didn't work. So within the bounds of capitalism. It's meant to be a capitalist slogan, and I'm sure the capitalists don't like Shohei Yamana, probably don't like me to hijack these terms, because one day I will be giving shape to some ideas, some good ideas. And also, I will be changing the way we do business. We do business to help to care about the planet and the human race before this. We've got to put the planet and the human race before profit. And that's true changing the way you do business. And also, it's all in your hands. Well, one day the industry, when I become a successful business person, or basically I feel, actually it's not when I become a successful business person, I feel now that the future is in my hands in the future, because I'm working on this stuff now. So basically it's all in my hands. It's all in my hands. And Konica Minolta is basically saying it in a sense, it's all in your hands. But they're not. But they don't mean it that way. They think that people don't have imaginations. They have doubts that someone's going to think of something bigger and better, but they don't know that a person like me is well, they might know it already because it's all over social media. I've done a lot of anti-Konica Minolta related work on this shit, and basically I know they don't like me, but they don't understand that these are empty slogans that, and I'm sure they like people to believe in these slogans only if it means they make a sale or they make money out of it. But it's just really, the world is a silly place at the moment. Loving money is a really silly, but it's not a funny silly thing. It's a seriously wrong thing. I mean, one of the things I'd like to do is to, as a scientist one day, is to basically solve the problem of climate change. And building photocopiers that last 60 years means that you don't have to melt down the metal or so often. You don't have to pump as much. Well, hopefully we'll have renewable energy, but I think gas is something that's essential in melting down metal, like in refineries, in refineries and in foundries. So the future photocopier company would have a foundry of its own, and basically it would still need to be fired with natural gas. So we still need, if we make less, and natural gas is harmful, causes greenhouse gases. So we all know that. So we use these foundries less by making the product last longer. It's common sense, folks, and Konica Minolta don't know that, or they don't care, should I say. They just make this shit, and they keep melting things down, and I get the feeling they don't use recycled materials, but I can't prove that or disprove that. But the problem is, you hear that less than 10% no more than 10% of electronic waste as of 2015, an article I read about, is recycled. So where does Konica Minolta and other companies get their materials from? Well, it comes from mining, I guess. That's the only logical explanation. And that's just not good. Imagine all that gold going to waste and other precious metals used in these devices. So it'd be much, and to avoid having to recycle the equipment, it makes sense to make it last a long time, so you don't have to go through the trouble all the time just to recycle it. It's not fucking rocket science, folks. But Konica Minolta seem to be a little bit dense and stupid, bit of a dullard sort of an attitude, bit dim in the head, and that's what Showa Yamana is. And basically, we got to clean up. And as a scientist, I want to help fix the climate change that has been created primarily by big business. So it's a hard job. And also, I want to clean up the waste in the ocean, and I want to harness the power of lightning to make another renewable source. And we've got to switch to renewables as much as possible. And maybe some of the gas that we use in the future could be synthetic gas or man-made gas. We can make it from rubbish, from putrescible rubbish, so we can cut down on our future use of natural gas, which is it's still needed, but we need to try and reduce our impact on the planet. We've got to think of the future, folks. We've got to think of generations. We don't know how long this world has to be around for people to survive. we've got to treat it like it's almost going to go on forever, and that we've got to treat it like it has to last forever, but it's not going to last forever. But we've got to make sure we keep it clean and green as much as we can. And also we've got to help fight against poverty and homelessness and other issues that plague our society as we speak. But enough about that. This is interesting. I think now we can call this demo quits.